Hey guys, I'm here today to do a quick review of the Misti stamp tool. I ordered my Misti stamp tool from My Sweet Petunia, and it's also available on Simon Says Stamp, but I went ahead and ordered it directly from My Sweet Petunia because it was on back order at Simon Says Stamp. I also discovered that the price was a little bit lower from My Sweet Petunia than Simon Says Stamp. So this video is just a quick first impressions video. I'm not going to be using it to create anything in this video. I'm just going to be going over some of the specs and giving you my first impression. Now, the actual stamping tool measures approximately 8 by 10, and the stamp area on the inside measures 6.5 by 8.5 inches. So you can fit a standard size card folded inside the stamp area, or a larger one if you're making a large square card, as long as it's folded. Now you can also do a top folding card and place it into the stamping tool and simply just close it, because it won't because it lands on top, it won't bend your cardstock, which is nice. In terms of the purpose of the Misti, the whole idea behind it is to eliminate the imaging sheet that you often see when you use tools like a Stamp-A-Majig. And what you do is you take your actual stamping tool and open it up. You place your cardstock on the inside with a stamp, and you place your stamp down. I don't have one available right now, or I'd stick one down, but you place your stamp exactly where you want it to appear. You close the tray so it picks the stamp up, so when you open it you can ink it up and then stamp it exactly where it should land. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen the Misti being used by other crafters because it is fairly popular right now. So my first impressions of the Misti tool, getting it quality-wise, I give it about 3.5 out of 5 stars. To be honest with you guys, I was a little bit disappointed when I received the Misti looking at the quality of it. It is a more expensive stamping tool, and initially when you get the tool, it comes in multiple parts. You will actually get the stamping tool, and you will get a piece of acetate or a piece of cling to place on top of your Misti tool to protect the grid, because the grid is not etched in, it's only screen printed. So if you don't protect it, it will rub off. Also, on the inside here, there is a ruler, and this ruler is not exactly perfectly placed. It is nice because it's laminated and you can wipe it off. But on my particular tool, it didn't land perfectly, and you can see that I can bend the edges of the sticker up because it's not landed perfectly flat on the acrylic. And I'm not sure if it's because it didn't land properly or because it's not exactly spaced perfectly. The other thing that kind of took me by surprise that I definitely think someone buying this should know is that the hinges are glued on. They're not a part of the plastic on either side, and they are plastic, the hinges themselves. So I'm curious to see how well this ages, because as most of us know, as plastics get older, they tend to become brittle. So I'm hoping that this stands up over time. Now, with that said, they definitely didn't use cheap plastics. This definitely feels substantial in the hand. It's definitely thick plastic. So in terms of the quality of plastic, it looks pretty good. Now, with your Misti tool, you will get a list of things to not do with the tool, and the list is pretty long. It does talk about the fact that you do need to put the plastic cling on top to protect the grid, that you shouldn't use window cleaner because it'll fog the plastic, that you shouldn't use StazOn cleaner. They give very specific items that they want you to use. They also talk about the magnets that they sell, which I did not purchase because you can buy similar magnets from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they were also out of stock. So I'm sure I can talk my husband into picking one of those up on his next trip to the hardware store. But anyways, the other thing that I noticed is the back of my Misti tool actually had a fairly large air bubble. Now, I removed that air bubble using a push pin and just pushing it down, but it was a pretty large air bubble on the back that I had to work out, which also kind of affected my first impressions. But overall, I do think the Misti stamp tool is a really good idea. I really do like the idea of doing away with the imaging sheet for, you know, very specific stamp placement and only having to place a stamp on the project and close the lid. And this can be used with clear stamps and with cling foam stamps. Now there's a foam piece in here right now, and this is to assist with stamping with cling stamps. But if you wanted to use, or excuse me, with clear stamps, but if you wanted to use a cling stamp, you could remove this foam backing and you get a deeper well to stamp your cling mount rubber stamps. And you can also see there's a grid on the inside. Now, speaking of this grid, there is a grid paper pad that you can purchase separate. But if you're not interested in purchasing that, or you think that you may not use the grid paper, so you don't need a lot of it, you can print grid paper and cut it down to size on several math aid worksheets. So you're just looking for digital graph paper and you can print that out using your printer. So that is it. That is my quick overview of the Misti tool. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you have one? Are you thinking about getting one? Do you love it? Do you hate it? I'm curious to see how much use I get out of this. I already have some friends lined up who will happily take it if I don't like it. So anyways, that's it from me, guys. Thanks for watching.